I'm back. Final part. Yay! I'm actually really excited to talk about Octavia because she is a character I've actually come to really enjoy. I find her very funny and very believable in her teenage angst, though sometimes she can be a bit too dramatic, like her straight up destroying her telescope. Like, girl, I know you're rich, but really, my heart. But I get it. I used to beat the shit out of my walls. But overall, I think Octavia could be an amazing character if we just got a bit more out of her. So far, we've only had like 2 episodes and both feel rather the same in writing, but it was nice to see her interact with someone outside of Stolas since we still have no idea what her relationship with Stella is like. And I can imagine, just like Luna, she doesn't have very many friends, judging by her 97 followers. Obviously, I have no way of assuming she doesn't have friends, but it feels like she doesn't. Even her old Instagram, back when it was active, never said she was with friends or going to meet with friends. It was mostly just her and Stolas. Also, I think the Instagrams are like 50% canon. Sometimes they seem to be following canon, and then sometimes they're just like off the walls. Though I think my only issue, and it's honestly just a me thing, is her conversation with Luna in season 2, episode 2. I love her conversation with Luna, don't get me wrong, and her info dumping is pretty accurate for a teen. It's just the, why does he hate her more than he loves me? Like, okay, way to put Luna on the spot. But it kind of leads me to think that Stolas not paying attention to her for once, because so far Stolas seems to overindulge with his daughter, and the one time, or possible one time, he's trying to do something, she just thinks, well, my dad's so obsessed with hating my mom, I guess I don't matter. Like, excuse me, do you not remember that talk at Lululand? Okay, I get it, she's 17, her world is shifting, but I thought she'd learn a bit from the conversation she had with Stolas. Like, I know Stolas tries to shield her from everything since birth, I imagine, but she's close enough to the age where she's starting to see her parents as real people. Like, info dump time, I personally wasn't a kid of divorce, as my parents never married, but I did go through a lot of what Octavia is going through, and I learned pretty fast my parents couldn't keep their promises or be there for me all the time. But that was pretty much my whole life, so I'ma cut Via some slack, since it is happening now, and she's likely gonna need more time to grieve and accept some things. Though I will say the show doesn't give Octavia the screen time she deserves. She didn't even really get to talk much in her own episode, which it's funny how the episode is about her, but it immediately goes into the Stolas and Blitzo show territory. Like, her heart-to-heart with Luna would have been a bit better if Octavia actually got to talk more with Luna. Like, they could have walked around LA together talking and then end up at the observatory, but like, they could have cut down the Luna running around LA scene, or heck, just cut Millie and Moxie out completely to give the 4 characters this episode revolves around the time it needs. But just like more Octavia in general, please. Because that's pretty much my only hang up with her. Well, more the writing team than her, since they're the ones holding out on us. As for her design, okay, it's not bad, but it's not great either. The outfit's fine, and it is something I would actually see her wear on non-royal activities with her dad, since Stolas always seems to dress down when out with her. But as like her all-the-time outfit, no. With a mom like Stella, I don't see that flying. Even with Stolas spoiling her, which I do think he does. But I mean, I also wish it had more going on. It's kind of plain for someone who's basically the next in line to the throne. Like, splash some cash, girl. I know you can make that alternative style wardrobe in one day. Overall, it is fine. But you already know how I feel about the hat, so I'm just gonna skip that and go to my last thing. Okay, at first, I thought Octavia just wore boots and her feet and claws were just squished. But no, her feet are heel-shaped. Like, what the she's a bird. Why are they like that? Oof, it just looks so painful. Plus, we know that Stella's feet don't look like that, thanks to merch. So why are Octavia's feet built like that? Unless Stella, the scandal. Also, I know a lot of people say Octavia looks too much like Stolas, and I agree, but I think it does somewhat work considering the fact that Stella does share a lot of features with Stolas, and colors. Because, I mean, if we're led to believe Stella is a white peacock or any other white bird, it would mean Octavia is a hybrid bird, yet she still looks 100% like an owl. Like, a peacock owl chick would look roughly more like an owl due to similar features, but color, nah. There's a good 50-50 chance Octavia would have ended up with royal blue and white feathers, like those half and half peacocks, which would have been really cool to see. But yeah, I can see why a lot of people have some issue of her looking a little bit too much like Stolas, and I've noticed that the show does this a lot with the kids. But this one I do kind of understand, because they are birds, and we're going with bird logic, so bear with me. Also, her tail's drawn weird. That's it. That like it looks fake, or kind of like a turkey tail. But anyway, I don't have much else to say about Octavia, so let's go into the redesign.
Okay, alright. Okay, so Octavia had to get a completely new look to fit with redesigned Stella and Stolas, so sorry to those who like the OG design, it just didn't work anymore with what I made. So yeah, so after redesigning Stella, I realized that Octavia would need to look a bit different to incorporate her mother a bit more, so I gave her a more peacock beak, since that's a pretty good mix of an owl and swan beak. I also combined Stolas and Stella's face shape to give Octavia her own, but also making her look younger, almost chick-like, since she is a younger bird, I guess. As for her hair, I did originally want to give her bangs, but decided against it in favor of her having a more owl-shaped widow's peak, while also giving the impression she brushes down the long upper ear feathers. I imagine that their feathers are like a combination of hair and feathers. I don't think every fiber on their body is feathers. I don't know, because they are humanoid in a way, so it's just like, how does this work exactly? But I imagine Octavia could probably style her hair however she wants. I also gave her Stolas' face markings and Stella's swan line. As for Octavia's hairstyle, I had originally wanted to go with a more relaxed royal style, but I didn't want to take away from Octavia's teenage angst. So I kind of gave her a lopsided bob that I like to think she did herself after getting worked up over her parents or expectations in general, because fun fact, when I'm stressed out or really out of it, I cut my hair or dye it. Really depends on how much focus I have. Either way, it's a control thing I developed in high school. And Octavia seems the type to need to have some kind of control over her life in any way she can. Because, I mean, when you're young, you're in the process of having some control, but not a lot of control. And all your hormones and all your angst and, you know, being a teenager is a freaking nightmare. So I can see Octavia, like, trying to find any form of control she can with, like, her color choices and her outfit, her haircut, obviously the way that she talks. Because it's so funny to hear Octavia talk a little bit, because Stolas has a more posh but very relaxed way of speaking. Stella has a harder tone, but then Octavia has like a very middle ground of her parents' tone of voice, which is hilarious to me because, again, I keep saying this over and over and I'm sorry, but we still don't know how Stella and Octavia interact, but seeing how Octavia speaks sometimes really reminds me of Stella, like her tone, her snarkiness, her way of just like completely not being a part of what's happening around her and just like focusing on what she wants to for a little bit, which is every teenager, honestly. But it's so funny to hear her speak because I can hear her mom. Anyway, Octavia's makeup is similar to her mother's, more dark tone, really bringing out her inner emo. I also took the beanie away just to stick with the rest of the family's vibe, as I still find it weird she isn't dressed in more royal attire. Like, I get Charlie's dad's a ringleader clown and her mom's basically Kesha, so yeah, she can wear whatever she wants. But Stolas and Stella and the rest of the Goetia family seems to always wear royal outfits. So why is Octavia not as well? I mean, her OG outfit could easily have been her relaxed or outside outfit, similar to how Stolas changes clothes when he goes somewhere. So, I mean, can't the team, like, pull a Wednesday Addams and put Octavia in a fancy goth dress? Because I think the portrait image back in the pilot even had Octavia in her like current style, and I'm like, you look so out of place with your parents. Like, it's just a little weird, I guess, that they haven't decided to give Octavia her own royal attire. Though I did find something interesting when researching Stolas. He is highly used in witchcraft, which honestly, I should have noticed due to his overall skill sets. So the thought of Octavia now learning spells from the grimoire gave me more inspiration for redesign Octavia's outfit to be more royal spellcaster looking, that also mimics her dad's style, but also has her own personal touches, with stars on the shoulder of her crop overcoat and more stars on the bottom of her skirt, since she does love stars. As for the colors, I went with a more malachite green color, as the color symbolizes joy and it's supposed to heal emotional pain, while also looking rich and gothic. Side note, fully believe Octavia would be into crystals and star signs. Anyway, I also went with a more muted gold, as Octavia is basically just the backup heir. Even though she is titled as a princess, she still truly wouldn't be recognized until Stolas dies, because again, that is her role for when he does die. But she is also above her mother in status, so the gold shows that. I also gave Octavia a cummerbund like Stolas, but added a small moon belt. You know, something fitting for her, but also something Stella would give her. I fully wanted Octavia's outfit to feel like something she would wear, but also something her mother would approve of. I still don't know what Octavia thinks of Stella or what Stella thinks of Octavia, but I am 100% sure Stella would be the type to care about appearances no matter how you feel about it or how uncomfortable it gets. So yeah, as for the overall chest part of Octavia's outfit, it is another nod to redesign Stolas, as again, the star symbol on his chest will be passed down as well. I still plan to play with these designs. I know I've recently stopped saying it, but for those who are new, these designs are not meant to be animated. I understand that they are very difficult. The majority of what I'm doing is mostly to just show creativity and or just to enhance what's already there. I do plan to do animation-friendly designs later on, because obviously I'm the one who has to edit all the screenshots, but I also have the tendency to constantly fiddle, tweak, and just rework in general because I never stop. So even though this is what I am showing as my final thought process, it is not 100% the final. So yeah, I'm rambling. Sorry. So yeah. Anyway, I also gave Octavia the same type of boots as Stolas and made her feet like his and Stella's as well, as I just can't with this version of her feet. I just can't. Ugh. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys that I did make this version the same colored as the OGs, but I'm just not feeling the bright ass pink and hella bright yellow. Wow. I never knew how bright Octavia's color palette was till now. It's not bad or anything, though I think the hair color might be a little off, but I don't know. There's got to be a way to combine this, because I still want to at least attempt to keep some OG stuff, but I haven't been able to figure it out quite yet. That's future Brittany's problem. Anyway, I full on love what I made, but let me know what you guys think. Next video will be something. I haven't fully committed to anything yet. Plus, I did something stupid in my real life, and now it's all I'm gonna think about for the next few weeks. But you guys know me, I will drop a sneak peek once I have fully committed to something. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really helps out the channel and me. And I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!